Up until today, the Prime Minister has been limited in his comments, accepting criticism from the opposition and even some on his own side. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keisha Latterly.
And I'm Candino Knowles. Well, today, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie scolded those on his side who criticized his stance of unity as a parliamentary team. He also sought to set the record straight on government's position regarding value-added tax and the constitutional amendments. As we hear in this report from Clint Watson, the opposition did not escape the Prime Minister's strong words.
Making it emphatically clear that his agenda is not personal nor political, but nationalistic in its scope.
If a government that is elected is going to have a program, it must have members who are prepared to support that program. That is why they were elected.
Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie unleashed from his arsenal a defense saying he has always supported members of his team, going to lengths to explain that he personally introduced each member on his side to the public and outlined their capabilities and qualities for leadership that would make them suitable for governance prior to being elected, and that's why an attack to the contrary he takes personal.
And therefore there's a personal kind of agonizing for me when I see differences emerging. When I see a member who I introduce look at me and say what I'm doing is a betrayal of the people I represent. I don't give that to no right to no one in this parliament to attribute to me a betrayal. For 40 consecutive years, I have been in public life in this country. And there's not a possibility, no kind of idea, no kind of expression. What I do is the same that that member does, operates in good faith.
Mr. Christie, whom history records has sat in Parliament as an independent, having been once thrown out of the PLP in 1984 with former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham, says he is quite familiar with the role of standing alone. But that does not mitigate that there are consequences.
It's a lonely position, and yes, it's a principled position. And you gotta be joking to believe there are not consequences. Not put in by anyone here. You represent people. And the people you said to them, you must explain to them, not to me.
The Prime Minister says while there may be mistakes and differing views, as a party, those should be dealt with and hashed out behind closed doors. But when they step out, theirs should be a united front.
But when it comes to the politics of governance, Mr. Speaker, it's a team. And I think the member for Fox Hill said it right. They have to compromise sometimes, Mr. Speaker. And sometimes it's deep. All of these members here, to say otherwise, to accuse them of betrayal, Mr. Speaker, is personal.
Having had his government's campaign slogan, "Believe in Bahamians," thrown in his face as an argument against implementing value-added tax, the Prime Minister says everyone is aware that they met the country in a financial state that demanded a drastic response to a dire situation, a position shared by the former administration.
It was being demanded by the circumstances of the economy of this country. So they could sit over there and smile and talk and say what they like. But if they came into these seats here, it'll be different. If they have to sit with the International Monetary Fund, it'll be different.
The Prime Minister says his government has committed to bringing a number of initiatives, including mortgage relief, and in due course, they will fulfill those promises. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.